The Smiling Man. In the quiet town of Black Hollow, nestled deep within the woods, there was a house at the end of Elm Street that no one dared to approach. It was an old, crumbling Victorian mansion, its windows dark and lifeless, its paint peeling like dead skin. The locals whispered about the man who lived there, Mr. Alistair Crane. He was a recluse, rarely seen, but when he was, he always wore the same unsettling smile. Children dared each other to run up to the house and touch the door, but none ever did. They said his smile was too wide, his eyes too empty, like a doll's. The adults dismissed the rumors as superstition, but they too avoided the house. Everyone felt it, the unease that clung to the air around it, like the scent of rotting flowers. One autumn evening, a young woman named Clara moved to Black Hollow. She was new to town, unaware of the stories, and in need of a place to stay. When she saw the for rent sign in front of the Victorian mansion, she thought it was a stroke of luck. The rent was suspiciously low, but Clara, desperate and tired, didn't question it. The first night, she heard the scratching. It came from the walls, faint but persistent, like fingernails dragging across wood. Clara told herself it was just the wind or an animal, but then she saw him. Mr. Crane stood at the foot of her bed, his face illuminated by the moonlight streaming through the window. His smile was impossibly wide, stretching from ear to ear, his teeth gleaming like shards of glass. His eyes were black pits, devoid of any humanity. Clara froze, her breath caught in her throat. He didn't move, didn't speak, just stared, smiling. When she blinked, he was gone. The next morning, Clara convinced herself it was a nightmare, but the scratching continued, louder now, and she began to notice other things, the faint smell of copper in the air. The way the shadows in the house seemed to move when she wasn't looking, the way Mr. Crane's smile never faltered, even when he wasn't there. One night, unable to sleep, Clara followed the scratching to the basement. The door was ajar, and a faint, sickly light spilled out. She descended the stairs, her heart pounding, and found herself in a room that shouldn't have existed. The walls were covered in photographs, hundreds of them, all of people smiling. But their smiles were wrong, forced, their eyes wide with terror. In the center of the room was a chair, and on it sat Mr. Crane. His smile was wider than ever, his head tilted at an unnatural angle. Around him were tool knives, pliers, needles. Clara realized with dawning horror that the scratching wasn't coming from the walls. It was coming from beneath the floor. Mr. Crane stood, his movements jerky and unnatural, and began to laugh a high, guttural sound that made Clara's blood run cold. She turned to run, but the door slammed shut behind her. The last thing she saw before the darkness swallowed her was his smile, stretching wider and wider until it seemed to split his face in two. The next morning, the for rent sign was back in front of the house, and in the basement, beneath the floorboards, the scratching grew louder.